And if you could bring back one Avenger from the dead to star in another movie, who would it be?
I think RDJ, right? Wouldn't we want to see Robert Downey Jr. back?
Will we maybe see a Deadpool 4?
Oh, God, no.
Well, yeah, we developed the script 6 years ago, wrote this fantastic script. It leaked online and Deadpool fans went nuts for it. So the studio granted us a small amount of money to make test footage. This test footage that we shot then sat on the shelf for 4 years, as it does. They didn't do anything with it.
There's a level of expectation that they have that is just not realistic. And they are adding to a set of challenges that this business is already facing that is, quite frankly, very disruptive.
Just to be clear, I'm not in Avengers Doomsday. All right, so that leaves us with 3 possible scenarios.
And I'm not exaggerating or trying to be funny. I wept. I like cried.
A rumor is growing fast that Robert Downey Jr. is having trouble on the set of his new Avengers film with Ryan Reynolds.
Jr. demanded reshoot. Behind the scenes issues with the actors are due to a clash of egos. Jeff Snyder claims that the production on Avengers Doomsday faced major setbacks involving Robert Downey Jr.
This has been a labor of love getting this made.
Yeah, it's been the best and worst relationship I've ever been in. It's 11 years. 11 years I've been trying to get this movie made.
Marvel said we'll shoot your scene separately, or you can we'll figure it out in some other way.
God, no. My wife and children will divorce me. It will be capital B broke, and in turn, probably then doing Deadpool 4.
Hollywood isn't ready for this. Because what Ryan Reynolds just did isn't about a paycheck. It's about a mutiny, a rebellion against the biggest entertainment empire on Earth. For years, Disney has acted untouchable, reshaping Marvel into a money-printing machine, deciding who gets paid, who gets sidelined, and who gets erased. But this time, they pushed the wrong man. Ryan Reynolds has been the lifeline of Deadpool since day one, dragging a character nobody believed in from leaked test footage to a billion-dollar franchise. He didn't just star in the role, he built it, marketed it, and protected it like his own creation. Yet, when Disney slashed his salary after swallowing Fox, they made a mistake that could unravel the entire Marvel empire. This isn't just a contract dispute. This is the story of one actor daring to challenge the most powerful studio in Hollywood and actually making them sweat. And here's the twist. Reynolds wasn't bluffing. He was ready to take Deadpool away from Disney entirely. He was ready to risk it all. And what happened next sent shockwaves through Hollywood, leaving fans and executives asking the same question. Did Ryan Reynolds just expose the biggest weakness in Disney's empire? When Disney bought 21st Century Fox, they had other plans for Deadpool.
Miss Thorne, I couldn't be happier than to be seeing you bring Riri Williams to life, but the hood has me nervous.
Under their standardized MCU system, paychecks were scaled back, favoring performance-based bonuses over the large upfront deals Fox had guaranteed. This works for ensemble films like The Avengers, but Deadpool isn't an ensemble. Deadpool is Reynolds. The decision to cut his salary was a signal that Disney didn't value him. They wanted to fold Deadpool into the machine, stripping away the independence that had made the character a global phenomenon. That single decision was the spark. Once Reynolds realized what Disney was trying to do, he prepared to fight back. Not quietly, but in a way that would shake Hollywood's biggest empire to its core. Deadpool was never designed to live inside Disney's pristine machine. It was a character born in chaos, thriving on crude humor, low budgets, and fan-driven rebellion. After the Fox acquisition, insiders whispered that the Mouse House didn't just want Deadpool on their roster, they wanted him standardized, folded into the MCU like another cog in the billion-dollar assembly line. But Ryan Reynolds wasn't having it. For him, Deadpool wasn't a paycheck. It was an obsession. He pitched Disney over a dozen wild ideas, even experimental versions no other studio would touch. These weren't jokes. They were proof of how far he'd go to keep Deadpool alive, even if it meant pushing the character into bizarre territory. When Disney responded by cutting his salary, Reynolds snapped. The move wasn't just about money. It was a declaration that Deadpool was no longer his to shape, that Disney's rules now mattered more than his vision. Inside closed-door meetings, negotiations turned tense. Sources said Reynolds openly questioned whether Disney truly valued Deadpool or whether they just wanted to neuter it for family-friendly audiences.
Hood Green, please tell me Mr. Ramos is not replacing me as Dr. Doom via Parker Robbins.
The executives played it cool. To them, Marvel was a factory. Heroes could be recast, rebranded, reshaped, but Reynolds wasn't Spider-Man or Batman. He was Deadpool. His wit, his timing, his fourth wall-breaking humor weren't replaceable. They were the DNA of the franchise. For Disney, it was about control. For Reynolds, it was about survival. And as those negotiations soured, he realized something vital. He couldn't win this fight behind closed doors. If Disney was going to box him in, he'd have to take the battle somewhere the studio couldn't silence him, out into the public with the fans who had always been his secret weapon. Reynolds didn't throw tantrums or slam doors. He knew better. Instead, he weaponized the one thing Disney couldn't control, his voice. In interviews, he cracked jokes about Deadpool 4 bankrupting him or ruining his marriage, but beneath the humor was a pointed message. He wasn't happy, and he wasn't afraid to say so. Fans caught on immediately. Then came the social media hints, a post of the Avengers logo vandalized with anarchist graffiti, another cryptic reference to rebellion. Disney tried to play it off as lighthearted trolling, but the public saw something different. To them, Reynolds was sending smoke signals. He was daring fans to pay attention, and they did. The moment fans sensed a fight, the internet exploded. Reddit threads dissected every Reynolds interview. Twitter hashtags trended with demands that Disney pay him what he deserved. YouTube creators pumped out videos speculating on a Disney versus Reynolds showdown. The fanbase wasn't just watching, they were mobilizing, and for good reason. Deadpool wasn't like other superheroes. You could recast Batman or Spider-Man and audiences would still show up. But Deadpool without Reynolds? Unthinkable. His wit, his timing, his sarcastic fourth wall breaks, that was the brand. Without him, the franchise collapsed. Fans knew it, Disney knew it, and Reynolds knew it best of all. By the time the conflict peaked, industry insiders had stopped calling it a dispute. They called it a mutiny. One man standing against the largest entertainment company in the world, backed by millions of fans, daring Disney to call his bluff. Reynolds escalated with precision. He hinted that if Disney kept undervaluing him, he might step back from promotion entirely. That wasn't a small threat. Deadpool wasn't just about the movies. It was about the viral campaigns, the outrageous billboards, the offbeat ads that Reynolds himself created. Without his touch, the brand lost half its magic. Then came the real bombshell. Sources whispered that Reynolds was prepared to go further, even demanding that Disney strip Deadpool films from Disney Plus if the fight continued. Whether or not he could legally pull it off didn't matter. The threat itself shook executives. For Disney, which had poured billions into consolidating Marvel content under its streaming empire, losing Deadpool even symbolically would be catastrophic. In the end, Ryan Reynolds did what no one thought possible. He turned a simple pay dispute into a Hollywood reckoning. Disney, the studio that prided itself on control, was forced to face an actor it couldn't tame, a fan base it couldn't silence, and a cultural icon it couldn't replace. What mattered was the message. Deadpool wasn't just another Marvel property. It wasn't just a line item in Disney's endless content machine. It was proof that creativity, rebellion, and fan power could still bend the mightiest corporations. Disney walked away bruised, their authority cracked, their image dented. And Reynolds, he walked away as more than an actor. He became a symbol, a man who proved that one voice amplified by millions could challenge an empire. And the irony couldn't be sweeter. Deadpool, the character who lived to break the fourth wall, had finally broken through the biggest wall of all, the barrier between corporate dominance and creative freedom. The mutiny wasn't just in the movies, it was real. And Ryan Reynolds had shown the world that sometimes the loudest superhero isn't the one wearing a cape, it's the one who dares to bite the hand that feeds him. So the question remains, did Disney win by keeping Deadpool under their control? Or did Ryan Reynolds win by proving that control itself can be shattered? Ryan Reynolds just showed Hollywood that sometimes the most powerful superhero isn't the one with a cape, but the one who can rally an army of fans. His battle with Disney wasn't just for a bigger paycheck, it was a fight for creative freedom and the soul of a beloved character. He proved that even the biggest corporate machine can be forced to change course when faced with the force of fan loyalty. But this isn't the end of the story. The power dynamic in Hollywood is changing, and this mutiny is just one piece of a much larger puzzle. The question is, who will be next to challenge the establishment? Will we see more creators use their fan bases to demand a seat at the table? We want to know what you think. Did Ryan Reynolds' gambit prove that artists have more power than we thought? Or was this a one-in-a-million moment that only he could pull off? Drop your theories in the comments below. And if you're as fascinated by these shocking stories as we are, make sure you're subscribed to Buzz Talk and have that notification bell turned on so you never miss another deep dive into the truth behind the headlines. We've got more explosive stories coming your way. Until next time, stay curious.